Hello and welcome to The Hero Spouse. I'm Kendra Ruth, here to answer one of your questions about marriage and midlife crisis. Today we have an anonymous female left behind and forward moving spouse. She has a bomb drop of March 31st, 2020 and a date of marriage of 2012. Her MLCer is a clinging boomerang who is a high energy replayer. She says, "My husband told me 3 years ago when I was 8 months pregnant with our fourth that he couldn't do this anymore." Fast forward to today. He admitted the day after our son's 7th birthday, which was this past January, that he had an affair with his high school girlfriend. We were also high school sweethearts, but she was his first love. And he got her pregnant. So he admitted this in January that he got her pregnant, and he took his ring off. That he got her pregnant and had the baby right before Thanksgiving. He moved out when he found out about the pregnancy. So he's admitting this in January, but he'd already moved out when he found out about the pregnancy. So 6 to 9 months before November, he moved out. He moved out when he found out about the pregnancy, and he took his ring off at that time. He filed for divorce 2 months before the baby arrived. He claims that I'm his best friend, and he wants to take care of me, but he needs to find himself. He doesn't know his process, but he knows he has one. Okay. He comes over every day, eats dinner with us, helps himself to make his coffee and his bowl of cereal. We get along great, but he blames everything on me, that I'm controlling. That I wouldn't listen and I would never let him express his feelings. He says he can't trust me and doesn't know if he ever did. You would never know with how we interact that we're getting divorced. So first thing, what I'm feeling that he's saying when he says he can't trust you. So you can't trust him right now for a different reason. You can't trust him to be monogamous with you because he's already with somebody else. You already know that. He's a cheater. So you don't trust him in that marital sense. He says he can't trust you with his emotions. No, I'm not going to say that that's true or not. That's a feeling. He feels that he is afraid to be vulnerable with you. And so he has gone to somebody else for that where he feels safe. But he obviously does feel safe with you. That's the clingy boomerang thing, where he comes over there, he gets his coffee, his cereal, his dinner, blah, 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 everything. And you're his best friend. And if I were the new girlfriend, I would really hate it if my new boyfriend's best friend was his wife/ex-wife, unless it was because she was gay and it was a Will and Grace thing and they shouldn't have been married that way. And then I'd still be like disturbed by it because I would be new with this person. So yeah, he's confused. His feelings for her. She was his first love. It didn't end the way he wanted it to, maybe, and so he has to go back and figure it out. If only there are all these ifs in his head with that relationship, and so now he's figuring it out. But you're still his best friend. Bomb drop, you said, was 3 years ago when he said he couldn't do this anymore. But then we just fast forwarded to today, to present day. In January, he admits that he was having an affair, or has been having an affair, I'm assuming. He admits that she was pregnant. He's already had the baby. Now, so the question is, did you know any of this? How was life in the years up until January when you found all this information out? Oh, wait, you found out he moved out. 9 months. 9 months ago now, let's say. Or from November, I mean. So he moved out about a year ago. But bomb drop was 3 years ago. Now, are you saying bomb drop was 3 years ago because he told you he couldn't do this anymore? But what happened after that? So I say we don't have 2 bomb drops. There are exceptions. And so did anything happen after that? Did life change other than that you're having another baby? Did he stay out more? Did his saying that cause a change in your marital relationship? Now he can hate you. Now, before he was being loving, but now he doesn't have to pretend anymore. Or did he sweep that under the rug and you sweep it with him and you just go on? Because if that's what happened, it could be not quite yanking him out of the tunnel. It's just, it didn't take. And maybe your bomb drop, according to how we will start the timeline, the clock for when he is moving forward in the tunnel, is later than that. Given a 3-year bomb drop, I want really strict boundaries with him. Given a 1-year ago bomb drop, I want boundaries, but I'm also willing to not be as strict with those boundaries. So there's some iffiness going on right here from just from this information. I want him to be told the relationship with her is inappropriate, but you have a baby together. So that adds new dynamics. Usually it's the relationship with her is inappropriate. Yes, I know you're whatever, living with her, say. Yes, I know she's your soulmate, blah, blah, blah. You're married to me. Oh, you're divorcing me. Too bad. That's your divorce, not mine. When I married you, I made a promise to you. We have 4 children together, and we have responsibilities to those children. Children are better off with parents who are married and together if the relationship, this is statistical, this is from research, if the relationship is low conflict. If it's the relationship between the parents is high conflict, children are better off if their parents are not together. But if their parents are low conflict and not even happy, the children are better off when their parents stay married. So that thing, you stay married for your kids, it's valid. Now, the goal would be to choose to be happy and figure that part out of it. And the other thing that I don't recall reading in the study was, where's this threshold of low and high conflict? At what point does it no longer low conflict and it's high? And maybe during midlife crisis that could happen. But if you know that you could have a low conflict relationship, you figure it out. Now, you need to do that. I understand. I'm just saying that's some of the things you say. And that's not going to change his mind while he's in a midlife crisis. Those are seeds you plant. Children are better off, and you have 4 of them. But he has a new baby. How do you handle that part with her? You have to figure out, if you're going to be a standard, if you are, you have another baby that is validly your husband's. And what are you going to do about that to promote him being in that baby's life? Because that baby didn't choose this. And what are you going to do? And are you going to be able to handle that baby being in your plural, your family life and part of your family? And if at this point you say, I want to be able to handle that, but I don't think or know that I can, you get therapy for that. Because it's not the baby's fault. And is that baby going to be a trigger for you? Let's do some things to help that not be a trigger. And your children have another sibling. And we don't want them to hate that sibling or just have disdain for the sibling. That's a baby. All babies are beautiful. All babies are innocent. But also, all babies have a setup in life. Some of them, it sets them up for things that are more positive, and some, the setup is set up for things that are more negative, and they're going to have additional challenges. This baby has some challenges, and I feel badly for that baby. So I want you to figure out how you're going to handle that part of it, just on your own emotions and in your own treatment of this child. If let's say the two of you and your husband reconcile, and now you get visitation with this baby. Maybe you get custody of the baby. How are you going to handle that? It would be different if you were the stepmom to a baby from a previous relationship that was before you. But this was the baby that was part of the betrayal of you. And so I want some therapy in there for you to figure that out, how you're going to deal with that, so that it's not coming out on that little child. And then you set up boundaries. You say, you know what? You've chosen not to live here. You've chosen not to do this. You've chosen to leave this. And I'm not doing this because you have a child with her. If you're standing, I'm not doing this because yeah, you know what? Let's be honest. I'll be honest. That sucks. But I'm willing to work through that when the time is right, when you are ready to choose maturity. You're not ready yet, probably. But when you are ready, but right now, this coming over here and cake eating and just acting like we're best friends, because we're not. Because best friends don't treat me like you've treated me. That's not going to work for us. You either have to be in or out. Not this part-way thing. Maybe someday I choose not to ever reconcile with you, and you choose not to reconcile with me. We'll co-parent. But right now, that's not how it can work. Because I would rather have a more deep relationship with you. I would rather have a relationship with you that is as my husband and our children's father, and I feel that is the best sort of relationship to have with you. And you can disagree with me. That's your prerogative. But that's where I am. And if that's what I want, then I am not going to allow you to be here part-time. And I'm sorry, because I will miss you. But I think the only way for me to get strong and me to heal and get to a place where, if it happens, we could reconcile, is for me to let you go and not allow you to come back into this place when you're not even close to ready. When you're ready to be ready, we can talk about it. When you no longer have a relationship with her that is based on anything other than you have a child together and you have to figure out how to co-parent, let me know. Then I can open up my life to you. When you're ready to do that and open your life to me as your wife. That's a long speech I just gave, so I'm not intending it I'm just giving lots of different suggestions and options. When I said it, it was short. It was, we didn't have a baby, but we did have a pregnancy, a faked pregnancy, where she said, and I did some of the things of, I will support you in what you choose, Chuck. If you choose to have custody of this baby, I'll help you fight for custody because we'd probably be better parents. If you choose to co-parent with this baby instead, I will support you in all of that. It was easier for me because I was certain that it was a faked pregnancy. But I meant it at the same time. Meant it not knowing what that would entail emotionally and everything else, but I did mean it. So what do you mean? What do you want? He needs to be out there without you, but knowing that you're doing this because you'd rather have a relationship with him that was more than friendship. Yeah, you're my best friend. But you're doing things that my best friend shouldn't be doing. So you're not acting like a very good best friend anymore. And if you want to be my best friend again, this is what you have to do to get there. Okay? Let me know if you have any more questions. I hope this is helpful. I'll see everybody in the next question.